Okay, I'm recording our sessions basically for today, and let's speak about oral speech. Okay, oral speech. So as we understand here, we have oral speech actually by today, supposedly to be today. So as we are able to see here, today is the 10th of January. Okay, for the 10th of January, we are supposed to have oral speech, which will happen at 10 p.m. tonight. Yeah. Okay. So regarding on this particular speech here, because from the understanding here, is that they based on yesterday here, based on yesterday data, we have decided that that they will definitely increase the interest rate, but however they are going to do it pace by pace, which means that they will not actually increase it straight to the highest level. So that's what actually the information that we are basically getting here. And likely Powell speech today will definitely support to that particular statement. Yeah, because the most importantly for them is actually to curb the inflation rate to 2% basically. So as you know, last year basically, or in the December, they have actually hiked the interest rate too high, up to the point that that it doesn't help the inflation rate to actually lessen, but it actually help the inflation rate to be higher. And as we understand as well, we also have many economics news by this week itself, which is related to the consumer price index as well. And this particular consumer price index is likely to be forecasted, slightly a little lower, basically, So I will show you that what will actually affect the Fed chair Powell speech as well, which will definitely be the news on Thursday as well. As we understand, as we can see here, it's basically 0.0%, which is being forecasted by the analysts. And it's slightly lower, because based on data, basically, whenever that actually the CPI increases, the inflation automatically increases as well. So as we understand that currently their focus is more towards curbing the inflation from the understanding, which means that, of course, that they will not actually hike too much of the interest rate, and they would likely to go with only 25 basis points as they have actually said previously. Okay, so that's the information that we basically have related to Powell speech. Okay, let's think about it. Yeah, let's think about it a second. Yeah, because we really need a confirmation about how this is basically heading to. Okay, so first and foremostly, very important here. Let's look into today's news. Okay, and let's see what is the possible trend for today. And let's later on try to find more information regarding on the Powell speech as well. So from there on, so gold will go up, DXY will be bearish up. Yes, you are right. Absolutely. Gold will go up and DXY will be bearish. Yeah. But still, we always have to be careful of any coincident news, basically, which you will definitely get on the news. Okay. And also, yeah, very important for you to actually know what is the current situation which is happening. Yeah. Because if let's say you're going for entry, it's very important for you to know what is the scenario currently as well. Yeah, I'm sure that you know, because you do have the knowledge to actually see news, and also you do have the knowledge of technical. So, but this is the education session. So I will be sharing what I have again from my end. So for here, 10th of January, as we are able to see, we have one most important news, as we just discussed, related to Fed Chair Powell. Okay, so this is one of the most important news, as we know, which will definitely affect how the market is going to head to, basically. So other than that, if let's say we do not find any more further information regarding how this is basically going to go with, for the market, we can actually look at the investing.com. Okay, as you're able to see here, you can just actually go to XAU/USD gold spot US dollar, and automatically when you scroll down, you'll be able to see a technical chart where actually it consists of all the um, of all the news, yeah, all the particular news, yeah, basically, yeah. So as we are able to see here, US stocks are rising as fears of rising rates fades here. So which means that we can know that many of them here, many investors are actually thinking here that the interest rate will be actually lower. So which means that this actually really helps to the gold development basically. All right. So I want to actually take you through this news because I believe that this news is actually consisting of all the fundamental analysis that we need for our trade basically, yeah. Which means that we don't have to, really go for the bar charts, the graph, the line charts, and many more basically because all of it is being specified here. So yeah, so they have raised their hopes for a slower pace of interest rate increases from the Federal Reserve. This is the first key point that we can look into. So we can see the stocks has actually been up as well. Okay, the cooling labor market is boosting hopes for a slower rate hike. As we know, basically, previously we have our employment, yeah, our employment data, which actually shows us that that it's very good here in US basically, where actually many people have the employment here compared to the unemployment. So this cooling labor market is actually boosting hopes for a slower rate hike here. So this is another reason to tame the inflation. And other than that, the most important thing here, the most important thing is the CPI, as I just shared with you just now. So as we can see, the forecast here, the forecast that is being done yearly is basically 6.5%. But for the monthly, as we saw just now, it was about 0.0% basically. So this is actually based on many analysts that are actually really very good, and they are very expertise here in the market basically. So this is a combination of their, how to say, of their analysis, which basically they place in investing.com. So as we see that it's likely to show moderation of prices to the same time 1 year ago, yeah. Yeah, so the market is now expecting Fed to raise interest rate by a slower pace by next month, with a quarter percentage point raise compared with the half point raise in December and big increases at the 4 meetings before that. So as we know that last year has been a very hard time where Fed basically keep increasing, yeah, the interest rate basically. So this week, we can see on the weekly jobless claims, as we were speaking just now. So we can see that it's about 204 compared to 225, which was being forecasted, which is good actually, which is really good, because unemployment always needs to be lesser, always needs to be lesser. And moreover, as we see also that um, shares of China e-commerce giant, also rose about 4%. Yeah, and Jack Ma said that he will give up control on the fintech. Okay, and yeah, so these are the things that. So this actually leads to the to the goal, actually increasing in price. So this is the first indication here that we have from this particular news. And secondly, we can always look at what happens basically previously, so that we can know what actually lead to this particular news as well. The latest news that we just read actually. So as we are able to see, Dow Jones rise 75 points, sentiment climbs ahead of key CPI data. So the most important thing as we are looking into this news currently, we understand that how important is CPI data in order for us to know the further trend. Yeah. And this CPI data based on analysis basically is forecasted to be lower. And of course, this is definitely in the knowledge of the J Powell as well. So likely we know that this is the main key point that we definitely have to focus on. And to be frank, as we already said, that many investors are also basically worried. They are actually more focusing towards the lower of the interest rate, which means that of course they will increase it, which means they actually increase it only to 25 basis point. Yeah, this is based on the previous study, or previous news reading, which was done by me, and it was in one of my videos as well. So 25 basis point, which means that actually there won't be much of the hike in the interest rate. Okay. So other than that, let's see. Um, what else? We know that whenever stock markets basically rises, US dollar will go down actually. Yeah, most of the time. And this is what actually is being said over here. Yeah, it will definitely, yeah, could again slow down in space, interest rate in the coming, when it meets in February. Yeah. So we can see, the first contradiction in the US services as well, which is about 49.6, yeah, compared to 55.0. Okay, this is lower, yeah. This is really lower for the US, okay. And we can see Friday official non-farm payrolls, which was about 223 compared to 200K, which was being forecasted. Okay. Okay, wages also increased, but very slow, yeah, very, very slow. But if you see, if you look at the latest release on the 6th of January, it was actually lower than what was being forecasted. And it was even lower than its previous one, yeah. If you're seeing here, if you notice here, from the previous one was 4.8%, but it reduced to up to 4.6%. Okay, so we can see that how the US economy is also performing. We know that from here also that it's not quite performing well, even though they have a very good, they have a very good employment rate and all, but still, it doesn't actually help in terms of their wages, yeah, because their wages are not getting high, and this will not actually help towards the CPI, because as we know, CPI is one of the most important key, yeah. If let's say we are looking towards whether the inflation will rise or whether the inflation will be lower in the country. So actually there are three factors very important when we are looking into inflation. Yeah? First is basically the CPI. Secondly is basically the PPE, producer uh, okay, PPI, producer price index. Okay, okay, producer price index, and also PCE, which is personal consumption expenditure. So these three things are very important in order for Fed to actually decide whether they are going to hike their interest rate or whether they are going to lower the interest rate. Okay, this is the very strong key points there that we can always focus on. Firstly is CPI, secondly is PCE, personal consumption expenditure, and third is producer price index. Okay, producer price index is more to manufacturers. Basically, because they are producers, they will actually have their costs, okay, and their services charges, which they will charge to the consumer. And when they charge to the consumer, what will happen is that that cost will be backed by the consumer itself, which will definitely increase the CPI and also the personal consumption expenditure. CPI is more towards you see, CPI is basically more towards overall, yeah, overall community. But if let's say we are looking towards PCE, PCE is more towards okay, PCE, yeah, just give me a moment, yeah. I'm just trying to see one of my trade. Okay, $1.50. Okay, fine. Okay, so PCE is basically more towards individual. Okay, so CPI is more towards a community. Okay, which means that CPI where they look into the American consumer spending, but PCE is more towards individual. But of course, individual they can't take towards each individual, but definitely they can calculate the average. Yeah, they can calculate the average basically. So this is how actually they go with the inflation rate. For PPI, we definitely don't have control because this is definitely in the producer's hand. But for CPI, definitely, yeah, it can be controlled by the people itself. Okay, so other than that, if we are looking at this here, because we are finding for what are the fundamental factors here. So we know that the reopening of China borders will definitely affect the metal markets very clearly. Yeah. So if you know that if it's opening, people will definitely say, oh, it's the largest importer, yeah, for copper and also gold, as well as it's also one of the largest for oil as well, yeah, yeah, for largest crude importer as well, yeah. So which means that China actually carries a very large economic power, yeah, in the world as well, where actually whatever that it does in China itself can actually give an impact to the market as well. So to be very frank, these are several things. Yeah? These are several most important things that we definitely have to look into, basically, and we will have to know what is the impact that it will actually give in the market. So just by reading these two particular news, you will be able to know what are the most important fundamental factors that you can look into, basically. Most importantly, firstly, as we always focus on what the scheduled news is. Scheduled news is something that we can see. Okay, something that we know, okay, it's going to happen at 10 p.m. Okay, something that we know. But the thing is that there are other factors that will also affect the market throughout the day as well. Yeah, so it's very important for us to know what are the news basically, yeah, that are basically happening, and how can we actually determine the trend for the day. Okay, what we are learning here is basically we are focusing the trend for the day. So another thing is that when we already predicted that the trend would be bullish, there are possibility also that that this can be affected as well. It can happen. Okay, it can really happen. And how this can happen, and this is definitely through the news. As you're able to see here, for the news. Okay, as you're able to see here, there are several news over here under the latest news, and I consider the latest news as a coincident news here, something like an update. Okay, something like an update or something that happens suddenly. Basically, like for example, if you want to go to a certain place, okay, suddenly you have predicted, okay, I want to reach there by 1 hour. Okay, suddenly some accident happen, okay, or some thunderstorm happen, or anything happens here in the middle of the road, which means that this will actually delay your time in order to actually reach to your destination in 1 hour. So this is why actually this is actually part in the coincidence. Market do have these issues as well. Okay, where actually it can be affected by the supply demand. Okay, supply and demand. It can be affected by economic factors. It can be also affected by political factors. It can be affected by sentiments. Yeah. So these are several things. Yeah, that we definitely have to look into basically, yeah, and these all we can find in the news here, yeah, okay, in the news here. So of course, if we are going to go like every 10 minutes, every 10 minutes is going to be quite a hassle. So that's why my suggestion is that always look into the 1 hour. At least 1 hour you look into one news, yeah. At least, just to see at least what is going on. In case if you do not have much time, then it's of course it's better for you to actually go to investing.com and basically learn it over there. Yeah, try to find out what are the latest news and try to go with it over there, because investing.com will also actually provide you the core incident news that you need to know basically, yeah, while actually reading here. But however, if let's say you're just going with the latest news, it's also very good because you will have more sources of information. As you're able to see here, we have Go Markets, we have thinking.com, they will have FX Street, Bloomberg, yeah. These are all very good. These are all very good sources of information actually, which you can definitely use in order for you to trade in the market. Okay, and when you are trading, please kindly do not read all the latest news because it can be very exhausting. What I would suggest to do is that if let's say you are trading in that particular currency, which means that you just look into that what that particular currency is doing. For example, if you're trading in Australian dollar, then you don't have to look into the other news, yeah, which is related to China, for example, yeah, or maybe for JPY, for example. Because why? The reason is because you will actually take a lot of time, but it's good. Yeah, it's good if you would like to learn. For the general knowledge, it's very good actually. However, that would be very time consuming. So even if you go specifically for the currency pair that you're looking for, like for example, if let's say you are trading for Australian dollar, then you just go for the news which is related to Australian dollar. If you are trading for gold, for example, then it's definitely very important for you to look at the US economy. Yeah. So these are the things, yeah, that we basically can do about. So as we know, currently our trend is definitely bullish. Yeah, it's definitely bullish. So currently we want to know what is our fundamental range actually. Yeah. So as I always speak about, I always use the moving average. Yeah, the moving average, and also if you feel that it's very it's a hassle, yeah, to basically go through a lot of calculations. I always take the days range over here, which is about 1867.95 to 1876.08. Please kindly check your day range whenever that you are actually going into your trading basically. Because this is the day range that it will definitely cross into, and it already crossed actually. So there is very high probability for retracement to happen at this particular area. Okay, based on the previous data that we have. And at the same time, it's also one of the safest range for you to trade basically, yeah. So somehow, if let's say you know what is the trend, basically you know that which direction that you're going to, okay, you just need to put, okay, within this particular range itself, and you will definitely head to that particular destination. So this is one of the most safest way in order for you to trade, basically, yeah. Or unless if you have some time, go to historical data. Okay, go to historical data. Take about five open and five high, and divide it by five. You will be able to get the open price and also the high price for the coming day. Yeah, you can even take 10 also, doesn't matter. You want to take how many you can take, okay, but somehow you are actually reaching to the nearest probability, okay, of the range for the day. Okay, so of course, fundamental analysis is something, you will definitely do the calculations. So, and other than that, if you look into the day range here, the day range itself will also provide you so much information already. Yeah, so much information about the direction of the market. So for me, basically, when I do the fundamental range, I always look at the age range over here. Yeah? Okay, because this is one of the safest range. Of course, when we look at 67 and we look at 76, we see, oh yeah, there's no much pips in it. There's nothing much, we can't get much profit and all. The issue here is that many people are actually focusing on the profit. What we need is that we need consistency. Yeah. When you have consistency, the profit will come. Yeah. It's just about patience. And also, actually, very important is that while in trading, many people neglect on risk management as well as money management as well. So it's very important to really manage here, to really manage the risk management and also your money management here, which you can definitely do from your lot usage for your money management. But for your risk management, it's very important for you to know what is the range that you are basically going to trade in. And if you find an entry, basically based on your technical analysis, it is better to always find the range within the fundamental range itself, because that would definitely be safer rather than actually we go against the trend and enter the entry based on our technical analysis and end up really floating really long, and things can even be very very terrifying if let's say we do not have much equity or balance. Okay, so this is what actually that I would like to say. Okay, really like to say. Okay, other than that, I would like to firstly ask, since Maureen, you asked me that it's about the Fed Powell speech. So my prediction is that it's likely to actually hit about 25 basis point, and they would not actually hike it really very high. So which means that gold has the potential to basically, come up by today. So this is what we have, unless if Fed suddenly changes its mind and say no, we will never go with 25 basis point. We will continue hiking it for 50 basis point or something. Okay, that is something that we will have to look before the 10 p.m. tonight. Okay, before 10 p.m. tonight. Yeah. Okay. Today goal will be at 1900. Okay, that's a very very good question. Let's look into it together. Let's look into it together. I want to see based on technical analysis as well. Let's see what will happen. What is my highest key level over here? My highest key level over here based on 5 minutes is 1880.89. 1880.89. So far, if you ask me that question, if it will be at 1900, I don't have that much of confidence that it will go that high basically. But because my main fundamental range is up to 1887.45. There is possibility that it can cross 1887.45. Yeah. So maybe if it reach 1900, yeah, because the thing is that it's only a difference of 10 pips, basically around 10 pips only. So maybe 19, but I place it at 1887.45. Yeah, I place it at 1887.45. Yeah. So that means 1887.45 should be around here. Yeah, which means it's very high. It's really very high actually. It's very, very high. Okay. So this will definitely be, at night, yeah, roughly at night. So we'll be seeing some shifting, yeah. Some shifting will be happening, yeah. So I would suggest that those of you who actually go into trade basically, uh, to be very, very careful, yeah. To be very, very careful because if any one of you are actually having a sell, please kindly be careful as well because the thing is that we are only doing for scalping. Yeah? If let's say you're selling, then just sell for the scalping purpose, yeah, basically. So other than that, we just have to go with the trend. Okay. So as we are able to see here, I have something to show you as well. I have an empty layout here. Yeah, I have a empty here. I don't know why I was looking at 30 seconds because I wanted to know more about the stronger range here, which I will definitely share with all of you very soon. This is currently in my research as well. It's very difficult to actually find a very strong fundamental range actually. So the most importantly, I believe, is to provide a safe range, but we need to have a very exact fundamental range. But to have fundamental range, sometimes when we already have coincident news or unexpected thing to happen, which will definitely affect the price as well. So this will definitely not actually, really give us a very accurate range as well. Okay. So for now, if we look at the daily, as we are able to see here, yesterday we have a spike here up to, okay, this is Bitcoin. Okay, because it changes here. Okay, let's say USD equals spot. All right. As we are able to see here, we have a spike here up to 1881.66 here. And the lowest that we ever had was about 1865.53. Okay. Yesterday, the range here that I gave was around, based on my videos here, because sometimes I do share my videos as well, and I could change my range as well. Yeah, I could really change my range as well. Let me check what I gave yesterday. Okay, I really try my best in order to provide the best range as I can. So for yesterday, actually, my range was about 1865.20 to 1875, yeah, 75.29. So as you can see here, the range which was provided, which was 1875.29, this thing that we have right now, it actually suppresses the range here. Okay, there are possibility here for it to suppress the range. And based on my fundamental analysis, I also say that it was basically a bullish here yesterday based on the fundamental analysis. So if I place it at 1865.20, for example, let's say we are taking another one more horizontal line. Okay, 1865 point. Okay, the ones that we have here is at 1865.75. Okay, we have it at 1865.75, but the range that I gave was slightly a bit lower, which was at 1865.20. So in case, if let's say we know yesterday that our trend was basically bullish, anybody who had a had a strong equity would definitely actually place a buy, okay, and he will definitely take a profit at 1875.29. So which means that for the day, yeah, for the day itself, based on fundamental analysis, you already actually achieve, yeah, you already achieve your take profit, yeah. Okay. So this is where actually that you can play really very safe. I'm always focusing on daily chart because I want to actually really be, really be and really provide the best range for the daily basically, so that anybody who enters anywhere in the market, yeah, would definitely actually end up to actually profit throughout the day. But the only thing is that the person have to ensure that their balance is sufficient for that particular day. Yeah, so it can be quite scary, okay, to actually be an intraday trader as well. But however, it's a very good how to say it's a very good it can be a very good and very profitable strategy also. Yeah, basically, if let's say you know how to actually predict for the day as well. Yeah, so that most of our traders, they do not have to worry wherever they are actually in, because they know somehow that the price will be retracing at a certain point. So as we are able to see here today, we see that it's more towards bullish, but as we look at this particular candle, this candle is not actually giving us a very good indication, which means that it is quite uncertain regarding on its particular direction. Okay, so what we get right now is that we know that the last retrace point that it was at 1867.68 basically, yeah. And this particular range that we are having is about 1876.07. Okay, so there are possibility, yeah, there are possibility. Okay, if we look at the spike, it was 1875.85, 1875.85, and my prediction is that it would go up to 1887. Okay, which means that it will definitely cross, it will definitely likely to cross the previous close, yeah, or the previous spike of the day, yeah, of the previous day. Okay, this is actually just this is based on the readings. This is based on the calculations, and this is also based on every analysis here that we do basically here. Once you are actually in the market, you would always be able to actually see here what would be the trend and where could be the price here based on the support and resistance. Okay, so if there's any particular question, please do ask me. Please kindly do ask me, because I will be going and I'll be heading into technical analysis as well. Okay, because for today we already know that our I mean our trend is basically bullish. We know that it's actually heading up. Okay, but for now we can't see that there's anything here, anything that gives us the assurance that it will definitely actually cross us up. But based on all the news that we have currently, we know that it's definitely is actually a bullish trend. Okay, it's a bullish trend. So we are hoping for it to suppress over here. So if let's say we really know this, let's say we really know this, I will show you through this. We can go to our we can go to our 4 hours just to see what is the situation here. Okay, as we are able to see over here, okay, we have for the 9th January. See here, this is from the 7th, this is from the 9th. Yeah, there's the 9, we have a spike. Okay, and then we have a slight downtrend, and then there was a spike back. Okay, and you can see there was this thing and it end up here. Yeah? It really end up over here. Okay, it end up here, but it end up automatically at the much more higher pace, yeah, for the 4 hours basically. Okay, so for now, as we can see, the trend is basically still going up, but it has not actually surpassed, yeah, 41879. Okay, so okay, so for this here, let's go for 1 hour. See here what happens in 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour is basically, it's also playing in this particular range here. It is still playing in this particular range as well. Okay, so if we go for 15 minutes, okay, I'm going for 15 minutes. It is also playing in this particular range. Okay, we have calculated the range, and this was basically based on yesterday range, yeah? Based on yesterday range itself. Okay, so let's say if you're going for entry, okay, for entry, basically I have to use another one, because this is something that I'm using for the for the empty layout. Okay, this is for daily. Let me go to my main key point, very important. Leave the changes. Okay, and I'm going to go for XAUSD. Okay, I'm going to the daily. Nine, yeah? 9 of January up to this point, most lowest to this point, yeah? More towards this. Let me just close some of it. Leave the UT bot alerts. Okay, you're able to see here. This is for the 9, yeah? So I will just take another one more. I'll take a horizontal line. I'll place it here. Okay, I'm seeing based on the spike. Huh? Okay, I do take the spike as well. Yeah? Because there are possibility for it to reach at that particular point. Another horizontal line will be placed below at this particular point. Okay, so we know that this is the point. Yeah? This is the actual point, and currently our price is still in this particular point as well. Okay, so as you know, I always use for all these indicators that you are able to see over here. Okay, as you're able to see over here, right? So I'll be sharing, yeah, I'll be sharing more about this. Okay, bear with me. Yeah? Right. Don't worry about the stochastic. I'm not using it very much, but it's just the settings that I place here. Basically, yeah. I believe that stochastic oscillator, which I'm actually doing a research on, is likely to actually provide us a more stronger detail. But however, currently I'm still doing research on it, and it has a very different how to say settings for it. Once I'm done with the research, I will definitely share that with all of you. Yeah. Okay, so for now, as you're able to see here, at the daily, we can see that likely retracement is to basically happen around this particular area, yeah, which could be at the and A, yeah, and this is based on the Elliott wave. Okay, this is based on the Elliott wave basically, yeah. There could be a retracement up to this particular point. Okay, so but if we look at all our indicators over here, as we can see here, okay, specifically, yeah, okay, so we can see that we have something which is called as the extreme trend, and the extreme trend is more supporting towards buy at the daily, and also we have our FLI, which is also supporting more towards the buy in the daily as well. Okay, provided that the extreme trend and also the QQE MT4, yeah, which is in blue color, which actually supports the trend more towards bullish. Okay, more towards bullish. Okay, so this is the first thing that we have to look into. Okay, and other than that, if we look at here, we have our UT bot alerts here. UT bot alerts has one specification where it will actually give you the buy and also the sell entry. Okay, so as you are able to see here for the buy entry which was given, you can see that actually that the extreme trend, okay, which is the yellow one, okay, if you can see, and also the blue one, basically it's the buy, okay, is actually a very strong point, yeah? It is a very strong point where you can actually place a buy supported with your QQE. So as you can see here, I have a STC over here, which is the scarf trend cycle. Okay, this is basically the combination of MACD and also stochastic. Okay, this is the new indicator, which is the combination of MACD and also stochastic. So for here, actually, if you can see, what actually happens here is that it already give you the point here. But please be aware, when this STC actually give you a point, it could also indicate a fake out. Yeah, it could also indicate a fake out. When I say about fake out, it means that sometimes it give you a point of entry that you believe that it is the point of entry, but actually it's not the point of entry. Okay, so for now, if you see, okay, this is more towards a supportive here. If let's say if you see that your QQE MT4 doesn't actually give you a very strong indication here, as you see, UT bot alerts will always come out with the actual signal in the beginning. Okay, they will always come out with the actual signal in the beginning. And as you see that your QQE is not actually supporting, yeah, towards bullish basically, yeah. It's not supporting more towards bullish. So as you can see, your SPP is already giving you more confirmation about the entry. Okay, giving you more confirmation about the entry. As you can see over here, okay, it gives you more confirmation about the sell entry. Yeah, for sell, you will look actually above at 75, and for the buy, you will basically look at below 25. Yeah, it's around 25. Yeah, it is 25. It is 25. Okay, so at times you will also get something like this. Yeah, something like this, which is buy, and you do not have a confirmation from your STC as well. Okay. Okay. So of course, when you do not have the confirmation from your STC, okay, of course, you would actually try your best in order to avoid the particular trade as well. Yeah. But however, please be informed. If you see here, there is a buy over here. Okay. If you notice that it has actually reached the resistance point. Okay. There is another indicator which is the support and resistance level with breaks here by Lux Algo. So if you can see, it also is a buy. And even though, yeah, you have a sell over here, which automatically you can close your TP over here as well. Yeah, you can close your TP over here, or maybe what you can do is that you can actually wait here. Okay, how do you know that basically if you should wait or you should not wait in this market? As I always say, basically we have something which is called as the ATR stops. ATR stops is a very good indicator because ATR stops will tell you that should you exit the market early or should you exit the market late. Okay, so as you can see, if it's in blue color, there's nothing to worry. Yeah, even though if you see your UT bot LS is telling you a sell, for example, if you want to take a profit over here, fine, you can take profit over here and you can just stop it. Okay, or maybe what you could do is that you could actually follow based on your ATR, which you can see over here, which actually gives you a more pips up to the new height here, up to the new height basically. So these are things that we can definitely look into. Okay. I have recently basically placed for the Bollinger Band as well. Okay, but however, I just find it is just to help me with my trauma. Okay, so as I spoke about trauma yesterday, trauma is more towards a momentum line basically. So when you know that actually your momentum line, as you are able to see here, okay, as we can see our trauma line over here, okay, it doesn't actually reaches the how to say the resistance point, yeah, okay, for the Lux Algo, yeah, okay, which is the support and resistance on the Lux Algo. So which means that its momentum, yeah, its momentum is actually getting very, very lower. But it's something very important for us to know, very, very important for us to know, to see here. For example, if you notice here, this is the resistance point, and if you can see that this yellow color is a bit curve, it's a bit curve, it totally went to sell. Okay, it totally went to sell, and it doesn't have much impact in order to actually touch the resistance point. But as you are able to see here, as the candles are all above, yeah, all above the trauma line, which this is also indicating a very strong, buy as well. Okay, a very strong buy as well. Okay, so okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is what actually that that we are actually focusing on. And speaking about our take profit, yeah. Speaking about our take profit, as you know that I have a VJON, yeah, VJON key levels, yeah. Okay, VJON key levels. Okay, as you can see, this is basically the settings. Okay, this is basically the settings. So whenever that you are actually trading on, depending on which time frame that you are actually looking at. So if let's say if you're going for a sell or you're going for a buy, for example, these are all the key levels that you can focus for your take profit. Okay, that you can focus on your take profit basically. Yeah. But however, please be aware that you will have to use how to say all the other measurements in order to choose for your take profit, especially related to your support and your resistance, and also related to your trauma as well. Okay. So these are several things that you definitely have to look into. Okay. So for now, the one that I'm actually showing you is actually based on the daily. Yeah, this is actually based on the daily. So for now, actually, most importantly is that let's say we want to go for our entry here. We would like to go for our entry. So for now, as we already look at our daily, we know that there's a possible retracement to happen below, basically, even though that the trend is basically more towards uptrend. Okay. And also we can see that our FLI, our extreme trend, yeah, our even our trauma, yeah, our candles are all above, basically. And there are possibility that it would actually even break. Okay, there is even possibility that it would even break. Okay, and we can see that our ATR, okay, is also supporting more towards buy. That means the possibility to exit the market, if let's say you have a buy, if you, let's say you have a buy, it's not an option. It's how to say, it's something that you know that you don't have to go out from the market yet. Yeah, you don't have to go out from the market yet because it's still supporting more towards the buy yet. Yeah. So this is what we got from our daily chart, basically. Yeah, this is what we have from our daily chart. Okay, so for now, actually, if let's say we are going for our 4 hours here, let's go for our 4 hours. As we are able to see here, possible retracement, sometimes it's very scary, when we look at the Elliott wave as well. But let us know one thing, that these points are very actually powerful when you combine it with the Bijon with the Bijon key levels. Because if you notice one thing, the Bijon key levels are almost at the place of the Elliott wave as well. So at least if let's say you're going for your entry or you would like to take your profit, you might be able to actually earn money through retracement. Okay, the possible retracement, yeah. And I would suggest you to actually take minimum take profit, yeah. Which in case if you know that it's between this, you always take it on the top, yeah. At 1817.36, for example, you can take it at 1807.99, for example, yeah. Okay, there is very much higher likely, okay, for a retracement to happen. Okay, there's very higher likely for a retracement to happen. As we can see in the 4 hours, basically, we have a very strong indication that it's going to go down. But however, as we see currently, there is uncertainty. There's uncertainty where it's actually in yellow color. Okay, and if we look at our extreme trend, okay, we look at our extreme trend is more towards buy, our FLI is also supporting more towards buy, and our ATR is also supporting more towards buy as well. As we know here, actually we already have a buy indication as well. Okay, and another confirmation that we can always go with is that basically we can always look into our moving average exponential. Okay, moving average exponential. As we can see, this is also above. Yeah, this is also above our moving average as well, which means that it is more supporting towards the uptrend. And if you look at our linear regression is also supporting more towards the uptrend as well. Okay, and for Bollinger Band, basically, I don't quite use Bollinger Band, but I do not know why I actually place Bollinger Band in this. The reason why I place Bollinger Band is just because I want to actually know, I actually want to have more confirmation. So for example, if you look at this Bollinger Band, if you are able to really see, if it's really confusing, then please let me know. I would definitely change its color. Yeah, Maureen, is it okay for you? Are you still with me? Are you still with me, Maureen? Yeah. If you're still with me, let me know. Okay. Because, this is more towards a researcher. Okay. So as you are able to see here, from here, usually it always plays here. It always plays within its range itself here. So as we are able to also see here that there are higher chances here that it could retrace here. It could retrace back before it can actually go up back here. Okay. It will retrace back before it can actually go up. Okay. So these are all very strong. These are all actually, yes, you're still with me. Yeah. Okay, that's great. That's great. Yeah, that's great. So there are very high possibilities here. that it can come down actually. Yeah. But our main thing is that we want to gain profit. We just want to gain profit. Okay. But we know for the long-term trend, it will definitely support more towards bullish. Let's go with 1 hour and see. Okay, let's go for 1 hour. As we are able to see at 1 hour here, okay, our ATR is still supporting more towards buy. Okay, and as we can see here, as we can see over here, we had a sell. We had a sell at the 1 hour, basically. Okay, and we could see here the possible retracement to happen is slightly above here, which is at the B here, which is at the B. Okay, and this is very near to our Bijon key levels. Okay, near to our Bijon key levels. Okay. So for now, it's very uncertain also about where the direction is actually heading to, because as we see that it's yellow right here. Okay. So let's look at it here later on together. Okay. I'm going to take this upwards. Okay, take this upwards. And we're going to add the longer band as well. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay, so from here itself, we know that that it actually, it is still within the range. It is still within the range, and we have our Bijon key levels to be here, slightly inside here for this especially. For this especially, this one is already inside. Totally inside. Okay, so we have a sell over here. We have a sell. It's a very strong sell, and we can see that our extreme trend is supporting more towards okay, our extreme trend is supporting more towards buy, it seems. Okay, and our BB, or this is our BB, this is because it's crossing our mid BB. Okay, and regarding on this, regarding on this is more to FLI is also supporting more towards buy as well. Okay, it's supporting more towards buy as well. Okay, so there's a very slight contradiction as well regarding on this 1 hour time frame. Yeah, regarding on this 1 hour time frame. But yesterday gold goes down. Yesterday I see yesterday gold going down. Usually gold follow DXY. But yesterday gold goes down when DXY goes down. I see. I see. Sometimes but yesterday gold going down. Usually gold follow DXY. But yesterday gold goes down when DXY goes down also. Okay, sometimes there are some occurrences here where actually that it doesn't follow the actual correlation. Okay, what do I mean by this is that, for example, sometimes when always we say when US dollar goes up, gold automatically comes down. When gold goes up, US dollar will come down, for example. And DXY is actually a dollar index which is very much related to the life of US. If let's say dollar index goes up, of course US dollar will actually goes up. And if dollar index come down, then of course US dollar will also come down as well. So I'm actually referring to that US dollar. So as we know, at times it can happen in such a way that US dollar can go up and also gold can go up. Okay, at the same time, gold can come down. At the same time, US dollar can also come down. Okay, so these we have to understand one thing, that gold is basically a commodity. Yeah, and also it is actually affected by the factors such as supply and demand. It is affected by yeah, mostly is basically based on the supply and demand of that particular commodity, basically. Like for example, there were times here where you remember for the Escondida strike last year. Yeah, for the Escondida strike last year, where actually they said that the price of the copper will actually rise up due to the Escondida strike. Yeah, where there was no much of copper in the market, basically. So what actually happens here at this time, the copper prices basically rises, okay, at that particular time, okay, and also the US dollar also rises at that particular time. But we have to understand, because the thing is that we always say that whenever any metal market, whenever they rises up, automatically it will also affect gold prices as well. Yeah. So, but at that particular period of time, it doesn't actually affected the gold prices. Because why? The thing is that it went into the personal, yeah, it went into the personal demand, yeah, for that particular commodity. So, for example, in this particular case, sometimes like some other factors which is actually not related to the interest rate. Yeah, interest rate is only one of the fundamental factors here that we can look into. Okay, that we can look into. It has a lot of power. Basically, if let's say there is no any other fundamental factor that will disturb. For example, if we have China reopening, for example, even though if US dollar, even though if US is trying its best to actually increase its interest rate in order to actually ensure that the gold price is down, but China reopening itself can actually shake the gold price to actually rise up as well. Yeah. So basically, investors are not actually only looking at the interest rate, but they are also looking at other factors that can also affect the gold price as well. So of course, when they are actually increasing their interest rate, it will definitely help the investors to come and invest in their particular country, yeah, which will definitely help for the US economy to basically grow. But there are other factors also that will definitely affect to the demand of the gold basically. So in this particular case, what will happen is that we will have a we will have the correlation, okay, where that actually if let's say that US dollar is going up and then the gold will actually also go up. If let's say the gold is coming down, then the US dollar will also come down as well. Okay, so I see, yeah, yes, yeah. Yes. So because most of people, most of the traders, they only understand that there is a correlation. Yes, it's true. It's very true. Most whatever the most traders thinks is absolutely true. Whenever you know that gold prices go down, US dollar will definitely go up. If US dollar come down, then gold will definitely go up. This is something because this is based on the past data that we have here, based on the historical movement that we have seen. But there are always possibility, okay, when actually the gold prices rises up, the US dollar also rises up. And so if this particular case that you are actually telling me that the gold was going down, okay, and we can see that the DXY was also going down basically by yesterday as well, yeah. Okay, so this I believe that this is because of there were so many issues, yeah, that were happening in China as well. Okay, there were many issues that were happening in China as well, where they were actually still having uncertainty. Even though, as we said, that that China reopening is happening, but some investors are not very convinced, yeah, with the complete reopening, basically. So that's why actually it does actually lead to gold to actually go down, actually, yeah, by yesterday. So at the same time, also it could also mean, yeah, it could also mean the uncertainty. Okay, it could also mean the uncertainty which happens because we have Jay Powell's speech by today. Okay, so these are all several things, yeah, that definitely the investors are basically looking into as well. Because Jay Powell's speech will happen today. If let's say gold prices actually rise up, yeah, and everyone start buying, and suddenly we know that China doesn't give a very strong certainty as well whether they are really opening it, properly and all. So this will definitely ensure that the investors are worried about the investment as well. So that's why it could be in this particular case because we know that actually that US is actually the Federal Reserve is actually decreasing the interest rate basically. So when they decrease their interest rate, automatically it will actually give an effect to the US dollar. Okay, it will give an effect to the US dollar and US dollar will definitely come down. But of course, we have, as we can see, we have the J Powell speech, we have the CPI, we have the all the important news, yeah, related to US dollar. And it's very let me tell you one thing, US data is something that is unpredictable. Yeah. You can see based on last year itself, many analysts actually predicted, and what they predicted was totally opposite. Yeah. It was totally opposite from what they actually predicted. Yeah. Most of the analysts couldn't get the actual readings basically because the readings were actually It was not properly, it was not actually properly represented, basically, I would say. But of course, they are very good analysts. Basically, I wouldn't say that they were not good in their analysis. They were very extremely good. I don't deny that. At times, their analysis were really perfect. But it's just a common factors here sometimes here, because it can, the probability to get something right can be wrong at times. So as we know that this is completely based on probability, so we can't actually predict 100%. Yeah, we can't actually predict 100% of what is happening. So that's what I want to actually say lah, regarding on the question that you asked me, model. Okay. So of course, if let's say if I find more informations, I would definitely share this in our, how to say, in our education sessions as well. Yeah. So we are looking at 1 hour currently. So currently, let's go for our 15 minutes. Yeah. Let's look at our 15 minutes, what basically happens over here. So as we can see in 15 minutes, okay, we have our extreme trend start to change to the lower, which is more towards the sell, and our QQE MT4 is also supporting more towards sell. For more confirmation, if let's say you have something here that you get over here, that will actually strengthen, that will actually strengthen our point of entry as well. And if we can look at our FLI, let's look at our FLI together. Is this the FLI? Okay, this is the extreme trend. And for our FLI, as we can see, let's check it together. Okay, well, FLI is 2. Just bear with me, yeah. Very much bear with me, you see, because we really have to check this out there. Did the FLI went missing or something? Yeah, I think, bear with me. Okay, right. So, yeah, let me close this for the Bollinger Band. So we are able to see our FLI. Okay. Okay, so it's okay, it's fine, not to worry. It's just around here. Maybe most probably because it could be, it could be, it could be just around here. Not to worry. And usually whatever that your extreme trend does also, it always supports, it always supports towards the FLI. Yeah, the FLI always supports what the extreme trend is basically doing as well. Okay. So as we are able to see over here, this is more supporting towards the cell, and we can see that it's actually reaching through the Bijon key levels here. It's supporting more towards and is going towards the Bijon key levels. Likely it has a retracement point up to this particular level. Okay, it is likely to retrace here up to the point of yesterday's main range that we have actually placed at 1860.26. Okay, so we are going to see there, we're going to see how it's going to go, or maybe you will just actually end up at 1862.27. Okay, let's see if there's any Bijon key levels. Okay, Bijon key levels is still lower. Okay, there are possibility for it to actually go lower as well. Okay, there are possibility for it to go much lower as well, compared to the yesterday range. Okay, compared to the yesterday range. However, let's say if you want, we want to play safe. We want to play safe. I would always suggest, try to at least take your profit at least at your Bijon key levels or at your EMA 200 basically. Because if we do not know whether if it would cross the EMA 200, and if it crosses the EMA 200, which means that a new trend, a likely new trend would actually start. I have a feeling basically that that maybe the trend for bearish has basically started since yesterday, basically. But however, the impact is not much yet, because there are so many uncertainties that are basically happening in the market. Yeah. So maybe the only best way that we can know for the trend is to wait for the CPI data on this coming Thursday, basically. So once we get that particular CPI data, we would be able to actually confirm where does our direction is going to go. And trust me, that is going to actually shift, yeah, the trend, yeah, throughout this whole month. Yeah, basically it will really take a specific time, yeah, for the CPI basically, yeah. So this particular CPI that we are basically looking at, okay, is a very serious, I would say, yeah, for the Wednesday, okay, for the Wednesday, yeah, it's a very, very important key, yeah, for us to look into. Okay, give me a moment. Oh, it's here, yeah. It's on Thursday, yeah. It's on Thursday. It's a very key moment, yeah, for us to look into, yeah. Key moment for us to look into yearly as well. Okay, which is very, very important. Okay, and also these unemployment claims, yeah. Yeah, which is also a lagging indicator as well. Okay, this is on the 12th. Yeah. Okay, very, very strong news here, which could keep investors to actually doubt here regarding on the direction of the markets as well. So for example, let's say, like I want to go for entry right now. Okay, so now it's now we are looking at 5 minutes. For 5 minutes, as I can see here, I have my between key levels over here. I have something over here regarding sell. Okay, so I do not know roughly where it's going to get to, for example. So I have to wait for one retracement, yeah? One retracement to happen. As I know that I have a sell over here. Okay, I already have a sell over here. And as I can see, this is more supporting towards gamma, and also this is more towards the cell as well. Okay, this is also the FLI is also more towards the cell, and this is more towards the cell. Okay, so in this case, of course, someone would definitely go for the cell. So let's see, that how far that it could retrace. Likely, maybe it would actually retrace up to the beyond key levels. Okay, it will actually retrace up to the beyond key levels. Okay. Okay, so for now, if let's say we want to go for an entry, okay, let's go for an entry. Yeah, the sell over here. Okay, we have the sell over here, which was the first indication. And then we have all this gamma, which means that is a less momentum compared to the previous resistance points, okay? Compared to the previous resistance points. So this is also a sell which was given, okay? Right, it was more towards sell, and it continues here. It gives a buy over here, okay, and we can see our ATR was supporting more towards the sell as well. So which means the sell trend is basically a very, very strong trend, yeah, that we can definitely look into. So as we understand from here, if we go to the 15 minutes, okay, we go to the past 15 minutes, it's likely, yeah, there are possibility for it to actually retrace, okay, up to this particular point, yeah, okay, to the C, and also, yeah, that are 2 points here that is likely to basically retracing on. Okay, likely that is retracing on. Currently, it has actually touched our beyond key levels. Okay, it has actually touched our beyond key levels. Okay, so we are seeing that the ATR is supporting more towards the buy. Okay, but ATR is just if you have a buy, so that means of course you can actually look into when you want to exit here from the market itself. Okay, so this is also one of the strong indications as well. So whether you should go for your entry or not. So let's look at 1 hour. Yeah, let's look at 1 hour. I would definitely look at 30 minutes, but I think we can look at 1 hour to get more stronger confirmation. So as you can see over here, it's likely to the last retracement is likely to be at B, for example, and possible retracement to happen would definitely be at the beyond key levels, which is at 1877.12. Yeah, that is the lowest here. I'm actually giving the lowest retracement here, but the retracement could be actually higher. As you are able to see here, it could also have the possibility to reach to the previous day, which is 1860.26 as well. Okay, I actually prefer to actually go for a sell basically. because I see that, my extreme trend and also the very uncertainty here, which will definitely put me towards the sell trend. Yeah, I'm quite interested to go for the sell trend, even though I know that my ATR is supporting more towards the buy. Okay, but there are also possibility here that it can change. Yeah, there are also possibility that it could change. So for now, actually, I still have to basically confirm. Yeah, I still have to confirm this with my higher time frame as well. Okay, I have to still confirm it with my higher time frame as well. Let's go for the 4 hours. Okay, as you're able to see here, for the 4 hours. Okay, don't worry about a linear regression. Yeah, not worry about a linear regression. Linear regression will help only in terms of the range that we can basically look into. Possible retracement could happen up to this point as well, up to the Bijon key levels. Okay, up to the Bijon key levels. All right. So it's currently at a 5, and okay, there is uncertainty. Okay. Okay, our best option is basically to wait at our daily, okay? To wait for our daily to basically give us a confirmation, okay? Because currently, as you see here, we have a buy, a strong buy over here, a strong buy over here, and likely there would be a retracement. So what we could do is that first and foremostly, the best way is that for us to wait at our confirmation at the 4 hours. Okay, which means that we will have to wait towards what our UT bot alerts tell us at the 4 hours. Okay, so once we actually get our indication of where that it's going to be for the UT bot alerts, okay, with that we can go to the lower time frame and check what's happening at that period of time. But in case if you want to go, if you want to go currently with trade, okay, basically, from our understanding that it is more actually supporting towards the buy at the higher time frames for the 4 hours. Okay, so basically for these actually, since it's supporting more towards buy, we will have to go to our 1 hour time frame and check what is actually happening. As we know here currently in our 1 hour is actually being very uncertain. At the same time, it is actually more supporting towards the cell. Yeah? Is more supporting towards the cell. So if we go for our 15 minutes, for example, okay, our 15 minutes is also indicating a cell. And if we go for our 5 minutes as well, okay, we will also see that it's also indicating a cell. So maybe likely a trend shifting would definitely happen in 4 hours likely, yeah. A trend shifting would definitely happen in 4 hours, which will definitely bring the price to downside, yeah. Okay, so which means if let's say right now I want to go for my entry, yeah, okay, I would definitely take the chance to actually put a sell, yeah, at a lower time frame. Okay, but I will have to understand one thing, that of course that I have to follow based on the retracement period that I would have in my higher time frames. So the best one that I could have, if let's say I go for my daily, it will definitely take me some time. If I go for my 4 hours, then definitely it will also take me some time. So of course, I will actually choose at least the minimum, which would actually be at 1 hour. Okay. So, okay. Are you with me, Moral? Are you with me, Moral? Yeah. Okay. I hope you're with me. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very yes, yeah, it's a very interesting, yeah, it's a very interesting way when we look into trades, yeah. Yes, because we play with multi time frames, and at the same time we use all the informations that we have in order for us to select the best trades basically. So as we are able to see here, okay, for the 1 hour basically. So the 1 hour is also basically showing us very uncertain. But of course, the 1 hour is of course the best place, yeah, for us to actually go for our next entry as well. As we know that we have a sell here, everything is supporting more towards sell. Okay, so the likely retracement that we have is of course we will focus on our Bijon key levels for our take profit. Okay, so that means I would take the risk to take my take profit at 1861.88. Okay, and let's say if I'm going for my entry, okay, let's say if I'm going for my entry, where would I go for my entry for? Okay, there is a possible retracement that would happen at this particular point. Okay, which means that I have to go to my lower time frame. Let's say if I'm taking for 5 or 15 minutes, let's go with 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes is more the same. we want to get the one of the biggest TP as possible as we can. So as we can see, we currently have a bear wick over here. So we have this thing, we have this thing. So as I already said that we want to go for our TP at that particular area. So the possible retracement, if you can't see, then we go to 15 minutes. So the possible retracement, okay, is still likely to happen below. Yeah, it's still likely to happen below. And there is no any possible retracement that would actually happen on the top. And this is also below the trauma point as well. So currently, please take your cell, place a cell right now, okay, and then take profit, okay, at your 4 hours, okay, which would be at, okay, I'm going to go with my cell and I'm going to take profit at that was my vision key levels. Okay, let's go for 1 hour. Fine, let's go for 1 hour then instead. Okay, 1 hour is more stronger. Okay, so let's go for vision key levels at 1861.73. Let's go for a sell right now. Okay, I'm going to go for a sell right now. Okay, say USD, I'm entering right now. Okay, I'm placing a new order. Okay, I'm going to go for my sell. Okay, and I'm going to place my take profit. Okay, my take profit, modify my position, take my profit. Okay, at okay, it's good for you to take at 1860 as well, but it's okay. I will just take at the 4 hours, which would be at 1861. 1861.84. 1861.84. Okay, I'm done. Okay, regarding on the stop loss basically, yeah. Okay, someone actually asked me regarding stop loss. Okay, for particularly stop loss, basically, if let's say, it actually crosses, yeah, if it crosses your if it crosses your Bijon key levels, okay, that would usually be your stop loss. Okay, or actually if it entered through your Bijon key levels, that is the point that you actually can actually take your stop loss. Okay, and of course if you're taking your stop loss, you won't take it at the higher time frames. You will definitely go to your, okay, based on the time frames that you were actually speaking about. So you can take it at the most lowest, okay, at the most lowest, and this is also near to your trauma point, which is at 1873.27. But I would suggest you not to actually place any stop loss for now, because they are likely that the price would actually retrace to your H4, H1 take profit, okay, H1 take profit, okay. So let's see together. Okay, I'm going to actually place this in the group as well. Let's look at it. Are you guys with me? Are you with me, Moro? Do you agree or do you not agree to me? Are you with me, Moro? Do you have anything to say? But this is just, I will wait. Okay, you'll wait. Okay, you'll wait. Okay. You're waiting for the retracement. You're waiting, right? For sell, right? And you're waiting for the retracement, right? Likely, yeah. On a higher price lah. On a higher price. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Possible retracement could happen, and then buy at 1862. Buy at 1862. Huh? Buy at 1862. Good point. Good point to buy 1862. Okay. Can, yeah, 18 for higher price. Huh? Maybe highest also, I think 1876. Maybe it could retrace back, but this is for 1 hour. For 5 minutes, I'm just going for a short sell. I'm going for a short sell. Message. Sell at 1875, 1877. My buying range is 1858 to 1862. Yeah, can. Definitely can. Can, definitely. So I'm not going to place my stop loss basically because I know that somehow it's going to retrace back. Okay, so for me, it's okay. Yeah. I have a quite a substantial of of equity. So no worries. Take profit at 1861.84. Point 84. Point 84. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm done for today. Basically, if there's anything, please let me know, Moral. Thank you for actually joining our class for today. Okay, so this is one of my, this is, yeah, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. And Maureen, if you have something, if you think, that from this particular strategy that I actually shared with you, if you feel that there is anything that you know that you can improvise regarding on this also, or there's anything you can share, please do share with me as well. Because for me, I have noticed that, many of our clients are actually very good clients. They have very long time experience in trading as well. So it's very good, for us to actually have more communication. Yeah. More communication so that we can actually improvise and increase the rate of our winning in the market. Yeah, because it doesn't matter, even if I'm a teacher, but the thing is that we always learn from each other. So for me, I believe that humility is a very important, it's a very important key factor as well. Yeah. Thank you very much. If you share, if you got any development, yeah, do let me know. And for today, may all of you have a nice day. Yeah, and take care. Yeah, have a good day as well. Anything we'll just discuss in group. Yeah, and we'll figure out what's going on later on. Okay. All right. Take care, Morel. Very nice to have you here. See you. Bye bye.